girl can cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today, you guys, I am going to show you how to make this creamy, dreamy one-pot pasta meal for dinner. Okay, so look, go ahead and grab your ingredients and let's get started. Alright, so look, for those of you who know how to boil pasta and don't want to watch this part, you can skip to the 1.27 mark. Alright, but for those of you who want the details and all the tea, honey, here you go. Alright, so take about 5 quarts of water and bring that to a rolling boil. And you know, when you're cooking pasta, you want to salt your water. Please salt it. I am going to be using a 16-ounce bag of rigatoni pasta. Now, I always try to tell y'all that, you know, the 16 ounces is really just way too much. For me, it is. But I'm going to go ahead and cook the whole package anyway, even though I'm only going to use half. And you're going to follow your package instructions. So I boiled that for about 9 to 11 minutes. You know, rigatoni is a lot bigger than some other pastas. So we're going to boil that a little bit longer. And I'm going to reserve about a half to 1 cup of pasta water. We're going to be using that later. Please save your pasta water, all right? You don't need all of it, just a little bit. Once you get your pasta cooked, set it aside, and we're going to move on to the next phase. So I have 1 pound of chicken breast that I cut into chunks, and we're just going to season it up a little bit. I'm using a 1.5 teaspoon of garlic powder. I went a little heavy on that. A 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Also, I'm going to be putting in a 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano. If you have some Italian seasoning, you can use that as well. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt. Well, actually, I only added 1 teaspoon, honestly. Maybe a little bit over a teaspoon, but don't add 2. Okay? All right, go ahead and mix that and give it a nice little mix so, you know, it's all nicely incorporated. And we're going to cook this. We're going to sear it in a pan over medium heat. You know, you need just some olive oil or whatever neutral oil you prefer, okay? And add in your seasoned chicken. Throw it in there. Cook it up. We're going to sear it on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes. Cutting it in the chunks makes it quicker to cook, makes it easier to cook. If you want to leave it whole, you can do that. I know some people like to put their pasta or their chicken on top of their pasta instead of in the pasta. So if you're one of those people, you can leave your chicken whole and cook it that way and just set it to the side. I mean, it's totally up to you. It's your world. All right. So look, once we get that nice and cooked, you see I'm trying to waste time turning it with those tongs. I had to drop the tongs. It was taking forever. And just go ahead and mix it up, right? Yeah, because that's most beneficial. But we're going to take this out and we're going to set it to the side. And in that same pan, this cute little pan I got out of Aldi, I love it. This same pan, we're going to add in 1 small diced yellow onion. That's a whole onion there. It's just a very small onion. Now, if you need to add a touch more oil because your pan might be dry, that's totally fine. It's not going to hurt nobody. All right. I'm also going to add in 1 cup of cherry tomatoes. That is optional. I love tomatoes in any kind of pasta, so I added extra tomatoes. If you don't want to add those, you do not have to. It will not alter the flavor. Okay. I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of freshly minced garlic. It's more like chopped, not really minced. But we're adding that in. Make sure you don't burn that. And then season those aromatics to taste. Give them a little pinch of salt or whatever flavor you want to put on them. Just give them a pinch of salt, okay? Because we don't want bland vegetables. We want those to taste good too. All right? This is the base of our sauce. So it has to be right. Now, for the sauce, I'm adding in 1.5 cups of marinara sauce. Any marinara sauce of your choice. This is just basic marinara sauce that I got out of Aldi. It's really yummy to me. Costs about $1.99. Grab your favorite sauce. All right, pour it in there. 1.5 is 1.5 cups. And then we're going to add in 3/4 cups of heavy whipping cream. If you don't have heavy cream, you can use half and half. I like to use the full fat because it thickens the sauce a little bit better in my opinion. So once you get that in and it's nice and incorporated, the color may alter just a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and reduce your heat to a simmer and let's season our sauce. So I'm going in with some black pepper, a teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper for some spice. If you don't like the spice, then you don't have to add it. I'm also adding in a half teaspoon of dried basil. If you have fresh basil, honey, go for it. I actually do keep dried basil in the cabinet, so I just threw that in there because why not? Okay, so go ahead and give that a quick mix. Make sure everything is nicely incorporated. Taste your sauce, you know, make sure it's to your liking. All right, you may not like as much salt, or you may like less salt, so go ahead and do that. Add you in a little bit of cheese. I only added just a pinch full because you guys, you know, lactose intolerant. It's already full of cream, okay? So I only put just a little bit of cheese in there. But you do want to add either mozzarella or Italian, all right? Once you get your cheeses in, add your chicken in, add your noodles in. This is about half of what's in that pot that I cooked, y'all. And this was perfectly, like, it was just enough for me. I ended up saving the rest of my noodles for another dish that I'm going to cook for my son later. But go ahead, add all that in, give it a quick mix. And if you want to be fancy, if you just got to have some type of green in there, throw some spinach in there and trust the process, okay? It's going to look like it doesn't belong. It's going to feel like it doesn't belong, but it will cook down, right? And what we're going to use to help us is that pasta water. Now, my pasta water was kind of cold by the time that I put this in there, so I did pop it in the microwave and warmed it up a little bit. I just felt like it would help. But I popped it in there. I added some of that in to thin out my sauce, and honey, that's what we have right there. Look at that. Delicious. Look, now it's time to plate it up. And there you have it, guys. Our delicious one-pot creamy, dreamy chicken pasta. I'm telling y'all, that's a mouthful, but it's even more delicious once you get a bite on your fork. I'm telling you, okay? Look, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm already almost done, but
All right, good people. As always, I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. Thank you guys for watching. And if you try this recipe out, let me know down in the comments. And I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Bye.